Hello, and a warm welcome to all the students of Europe Hotel School. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I've spent a lot of time analyzing modern hospitality operations to see what really drives performance. I'm so pleased you're joining me on this learning journey. We're here to support your professional growth, and today we're tackling a big one. We're talking about unlocking true hotel excellence, and that means going beyond just great service. It means understanding how the entire operation works together. So, what happens when it doesn't? Let's dive in.
So let's start with this term you've probably heard thrown around in meetings: organizational silos. It's easy to dismiss it as just another piece of corporate jargon, but I promise you, it is so much more than that. In hospitality, silos are like these invisible walls that pop up between departments. They are the hidden barrier that can stop even the most talented teams from reaching peak performance.
So, what does a silo actually look like? Well, at its core, it's when a department gets so laser-focused on its own goals that it kind of loses sight of the bigger picture. Think of it like a world-class orchestra. You've got the strings, the brass, the percussion. Now imagine they're all playing different songs. Each section might sound absolutely brilliant on its own, but what does the audience, our guest, hear? It's just noise. It's not the symphony they paid for.
Now here's something that's really important to understand. Silos are almost never built on purpose, right? You don't have these dedicated, hardworking teams just deciding one day to stop collaborating. It doesn't work like that. These walls, they're usually the unintentional byproduct of how the hotel itself is structured. So let's look at why these good teams end up so disconnected.
This right here is a classic, textbook example of how it all starts. On one hand, you've got the sales team. Their main metric, booking volume. Makes sense, right? They need to fill the hotel. But then you have the operations team, and they're measured on managing capacity and making sure every guest has a smooth, fantastic experience. So what happens when there's no alignment? Well, sales might book a massive last-minute group that operations is completely unprepared for. The result? Service failures, stressed-out staff, and a damaged reputation. See, both teams are technically hitting their targets, but the hotel, and more importantly, the guest, is the one that loses out.
The crucial point here is that this is a systemic problem. The roots go deep. It starts with those department-specific targets we just talked about. Then you add in reporting structures where departments don't really cross over and incentives that actually reward individual heroics over true teamwork. Top it all off with very few channels for real communication and a top-down culture where information just doesn't flow freely. And what you've done, unintentionally, is systematically build walls between your teams.
Okay, so we've spent some time diagnosing the problem. Now for the good part. How do we actually fix it? As a future leader in this industry, your job isn't just to manage a department. Your job is to be a bridge builder. So let's look at the foundational strategies you can use to create a truly unified hotel where every single person is rowing in the same direction.
This quote really hits the nail on the head, because if the causes are structural and cultural, then the solutions have to be too. This isn't about just telling people to, be better team players. That doesn't work. It's about fundamentally redesigning the environment so that collaboration becomes the natural, easiest, and most rewarding path. And that kind of change, well, it has to start at the top, with leadership.
All right, here's a really clear three-step framework for building those bridges. First, you have to align incentives. What if both sales and operations were rewarded based on overall hotel profitability, not just their own numbers? Suddenly, they're on the same team. Second, you have to create formal channels for communication, regular meetings where data, forecasts, and plans are shared openly. And finally, none of this matters without inclusive leadership. As a leader, you have to model the open, respectful, and collaborative behavior you expect from everyone else.
And let's be really clear about something. This is not a one-time fix. This is not a project you can just check off a list. Fostering a truly collaborative culture, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's an ongoing process that demands constant commitment from leaders, consistent reinforcement of the right behaviors, and honestly, a willingness to tweak and adjust your strategies as you go.
So why go through all this effort? Why does this matter so much? Because the commercial benefits, the payoff, is absolutely immense. Let's talk about the real, tangible rewards that you get when you transform a bunch of separate departments into one single, unified commercial team.
The payoff is direct and it is significant. When your teams are aligned, your whole operation just runs more smoothly. That means less waste, less friction for the guest. That's improved efficiency. And that creates this amazing positive feedback loop, which fosters stronger, more resilient teams. And the end result of all that? Better commercial outcomes. We're talking higher revenue, stronger profit margins, and, the most important thing of all, a consistently superior experience for your guests.
This simple chart really says it all, doesn't it? The performance gap between a hotel that's struggling with silos and one that has achieved genuine alignment, it's not a small gap, it is monumental. Doing nothing isn't a neutral choice. Inaction is an active choice to leave a huge amount of performance and profit right there on the table.
So, as you all prepare to step into leadership roles, I want you to think of this as your mandate. The future of our industry, it doesn't belong to the hotel with the flashiest marketing or the most efficient check-in process alone. It belongs to the hotel with the most integrated, collaborative, and aligned commercial engine. Your ability to see, diagnose, and actively dismantle these silos will be one of the most valuable skills you bring to the table.
So I'll leave you with this question, to carry with you as you move forward in your careers. When you walk into your very first leadership role, or even just into your next team meeting, take a look around. What's the first bridge you are going to build?